Hey, what is up everybody? My name is Owen Doyle. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. Before we get into anything, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on post notifications. That way you can stay up to date when I come out with new videos. Now, for this week's video, I'm going to be breaking down last week's video. So if you haven't seen that yet, make sure you click this link up here, go watch it, or its first link down in the description. Now, you can either go watch the last week's video or stay with me. We'll hop on the computer and break these scenes down. So the camera I used for this shoot was the Sony FX6 and the Sigma 35mm, all at f1.4. My white balance was set to 3000 Kelvin and all the lights in the scene were set to 6000 Kelvin. So there was no real science behind those Kelvins. The only reason I went with 6000 Kelvin is because one of my lights, that was the maximum it could go. So therefore I just matched the other ones to that, and then I dialed my camera to 3000. That way it just gave it a very cool look, and the whole image was pretty much done for me. So that way when I brought it into color grade, most of the heavy lifting was done up front with my white balance. So therefore my white balance was used as a creative tool and not to set white for white. So with that said, let's hop on the computer and I'll show you guys how I set up the lighting. Alright, so first I want to show you guys how the lights were set up on the outside of the house. So let's jump right in and I'll show you guys that. So to get a general idea of how these lights were set up, I had two lights on the outside. So right behind this wall here, I have the Falcon Eyes RX18 set up on a C-stand, set to 100 brightness, blasting in through. There's a window over here, like right in here there's a window. So I have it shooting right towards there, which also lights up all these elements in here. And then off camera here, I have Aperture 300X set up with a Fresnel attachment on the front, blasting in through these windows, aimed right at the curtains up here, actually. So, I mean, if we bring that back, the light is more so up in here, blasting in through the curtains, kind of coming down on an angle like that. That way these curtains cut out a bunch of light coming in, and it gives a nice smooth roll off in the house. So we'll jump into a scene and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute here. But all I did in post was bring these highlights down just a little bit right here. They were shot pretty hot, but they were not overexposed, so I was able to bring some detail back in them. Well, I was actually able to bring all the detail back in them. Very cool look I was going for. So what this does is it emulates moonlight. I mean, technically moonlight isn't blue, but in a lot of Hollywood movies and stuff, you see the moonlight as blue because that's perspective of nighttime. That's how they sell it. There's a few different blue hues you can go for. So I went more of a teal side, and then I just brought the saturation down a little bit on the blue because I had it a little too heavy at first. So in post, I just brought it down. Jumping into this scene here, this is the first scene. So again, lights are set up the exact same. Actually, no, that's a lie. The RX18 is hitting this wall here to create some depth in the image between these lines from this sliding door and this back wall here. And then over in this corner right here, I have a Quasar Pavo tube set up, and that's the light that would only go to 6000 Kelvin. So hence why I set all the other ones to 6000 Kelvin. And that's set up in the corner right behind this chimney. It's on a dimmer on the lowest setting it could go. But there's also a window right here, so it looks realistic if the scene is flipped and shot coming across, where's my mouse? Coming across this way. This scene would look realistic. I just did that because if I didn't have that light on, this whole black wall would just fade off to black way too fast. And with that light being on, it gave it a bunch of room tone, which again gave the image way more depth than if it was just off. As you can see here on this door right here, there's a nice orange glow coming from these stairs here. I had the Falcon Eyes F7, which is this light right here. I had that set up. I think that was at 2800. Yes, that was at 2800 Kelvin on like, I don't know, something like 5%. Just shooting at this back wall right here actually. So this scene, I'm gonna just show you guys this here. So the scene was shot directly below me here, and this light right here was set to, this is the candlelight scene. So like it was set to like that, just shooting against this wall. So the reason I did that is because it created separation between the door here and the rest of the scene. That way when I came out through the door, it just wasn't pure black, and again, gave it some room tone. Now moving on to the next scene here. All right, as you can see in this scene, there is a pretty big mistake. I forgot to move my Pavo tube here so you can see it in the scene with a dimmer here. But in the original video, it shot 2:3:5:1, so I just had the bars come in, and then I just zoomed in a little bit to get rid of that. But that's something I should definitely keep my eye out for next time. So to light this scene, I had the same setup here, aperture 300x tucked behind here, and behind this wall outside here, I had the Falcon Eyes RX18 set up on the C-stand, shooting in through these windows here. So over in the corner here, like straight in front of me, I had the Falcon Eyes, F7 set up to the candlelight setting that you guys just saw. That way it kind of looked like a TV was flashing onto my face, because if I use the actual TV setting, it's set to like 6500 Kelvin, so it would just look more blue than the moonlight, so that wouldn't make sense at all. So to pop me off the background right here, I just put it towards a warmer setting, and you could actually see it bouncing off into here too, so it kind of bleeds off into the background, which is not terrible, but I probably should have put some gaff tape on there just to get rid of that. One hard thing about this scene was not getting a streak right through here on the microwave back here, so that's kind of why this light is angled really weird, is because I was having a hard time getting rid of that. But as you can see, I did get rid of it, but it was definitely very challenging. So one thing I forgot to mention with this scene here is I have a black foam board set up off camera right over here just to give some negative fill on this side of my face here. So for this scene, you could really see the black foam board come into factor here, where it just gives me more of a shadow side, as if I didn't have it. There's a white wall back over on this side, so it would bounce a lot of light back in. So that's why I put the black foam board there. All right, so that's it for this breakdown. If you guys have any more questions, put them down in the comments. I'll be sure to get to them as soon as possible and answer them if I can. Other than that, that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And again, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, yada, yada, yada. You get the point here. Now, I'll catch you guys on next week's video.